Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to skip the intro, and I'm going to give you guys a disclaimer slash trigger warning. The disclaimer is that there may be some strong language here, and the trigger warning is going to revolve around child abuse, something that is very, very sensitive and very heartbreaking in general to discuss, let alone think about. And what we're going to be talking about here in detail in this situation here is definitely something that is very, very, very inhumane, and honestly, it's beyond words. But let's get into this. So we have ourselves an article here that is titled the following: FDA's ban on the use of electric shock devices used at Judge Rottenberg Center in Massachusetts overturned. A federal appeals court has overturned the U.S. Food and Drug Administration's ban on the use of controversial electric shock devices used at the Judge Rottenberg Center. The devices are specifically used to correct aggressive or self-harming behavior in adults and children, the residential school said. The devices are also used at only one facility in the country, which is in Canton. In March 2020, the FDA banned electrical stimulation devices, or ESDs for short, used for self-injurious or aggressive behavior. But on July 6, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit found that the ban was beyond the FDA's authority, as it was a regulation of the practice of medicine. In this case, the statute says that the FDA is not to construe its statute so as to interfere with the practice of medicine, the opinion reads. That means that the FDA may not enact the regulation at issue before us. The school stated that the ruling was a victory for the Judge Rottenberg Educational Center and a group of parents and guardians of its students which had challenged the regulation. There are more than 300 people who attend and live at JRC, of which about 55 people are approved for the devices. The court's ruling means that JRC can continue to provide this court-approved and court-monitored graduated electronic decelerator, or GED for short, treatment as part of its holistic treatment plan for profound aggressive or self-injurious behavior, JRC said in a statement. The GED is a treatment of last resort, and its recipients are at risk of grievous bodily harm or even death without it. With the treatment, these residents can continue to participate in enriching experiences, enjoy visits with their families, and most importantly, live in safety and freedom from self-injurious and aggressive behaviors. The JRC Parents Association said that they are grateful for the decision, adding that it is life-saving treatment of last resort. There is no other treatment for our loved ones, and we will not stand by as they are mechanically or chemically restrained, the association said in a statement. The JRC Parents Association is looking forward to allowing their loved ones to receive this life-saving treatment without further governmental interference. Attorney Max Stern, who represents the parents and guardians of JRC, also said no treatment has otherwise worked. One client of ours is a woman who hit her head against the wall so many times that her retinas were detached, he told Mass Live. It was not until she went to multiple various other institutions, not until she got to JRC and got this treatment, that she was able to get this behavior under control so she could have the surgery to make it possible for her to see again. Mike Flamia, an attorney for the center, stated he was glad the decision is being left up to the doctors, not the federal government. The devices, however, have had a history of controversy. The facility introduced these type of devices in the 1980s, Mother Jones reported. Since then, many advocates have spent decades speaking out against their use. The facility has had numerous news articles written about their practices, including stories from Mass Live, a number of court cases, and a 2012 viral video that shows a student screaming and asking for them to stop. That hurts! That hurts! The student can be heard saying in a panicked voice, "Stop! Stop for real!" Prior to the ban, JRC reported to the FDA it shocked students less than once a week on average. The FDA ruled the devices cause a number of significant psychological and physical risks, including worsening of underlying symptoms, depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, pain, burns, and tissue damage. Since this ruling, Disability Justice Attorney Shane Newmere, I hope I'm saying that right, wanted Massachusetts to work with patients and their caregivers to find community-based options outside of JRC. They should be finding people places in the community where they can live independently, Newmere said, where they can get past this and receive services with their families and friends. Advocates also previously told Mass Live they wanted more than just the ban, especially from the state. A ban will do nothing to undo the decades of torture that people confined to JRC have had to suffer through until now, said Lydia Brown, Associate for Disability Rights and Algorithmic Fairness at Georgetown Law's Institute for Tech Law and Policy. And Massachusetts has a responsibility to make preparations to the survivors. Well, Rom, my buddy, I can understand why this infuriates you and why you sent it to me, and rightfully so. I am fucking infuriated now. Like, are you actually kidding me? So people that have mental disorders and other types of issues, not just adults, but kids, you mean to tell me that they go through shock therapy? Like, in order to combat these illnesses? Like, what the hell is wrong with this picture here? Like, there's no therapy involved in shocking someone till they are crying and pleading for them to stop. There is actually nothing therapeutic about this. Like, you have got to be shitting me. Like, this right here has my blood to a massive boil right now. And it's especially sickening when we think about the fact that these are kids that are going through this shit. They are being treated like fucking cattle. Like, wrap your head around that. And just imagine if you sent your kid to school and they happen to have autism or some other type of disorder that causes them to act out aggressively, and something that is beyond their control at times. And just imagine if they had to go through that type of quote-unquote shock therapy for discipline. Like, give me a fucking break. Like, if that were my fucking kid, I would be beyond infuriated. Like, no fucking... Oh my god, man. I'm gonna need a minute. Oh, but guys, it gets even worse. Check this out. We saw the Twitter user Dion tweeting this out. Hashtag stop the shock. I'll link important threads and such in this tweet for people who need it if they haven't checked my retweets. And as you see right here is an image accompanying this tweet. Now, I'm not going to read every single line right here, but let's zoom in real fucking close to the most relevant part here. So let's zoom in, and I'm going to read the last line followed by the checklist down below the paragraph. The JRC uses the GED as an aversive. They use the pain of the electric shock to punish people for doing certain things. People with disabilities at the JRC are being shocked for things like flapping their hands, standing up without permission, swearing, not taking off a coat, involuntary noises or movements that they make because of their disability, screaming in pain while being shocked. Like, I'm about ready to fucking lose it here, man. Like, that shit, you have gotta be kidding me. Like, this is straight up human cruelty right here. This is beyond cruelty. Like, oh my god, man. Like, this right here shakes me right to my fucking heart, man. And, like, oh my god. Like, how can anyone be okay with this? How can anyone be okay with this, man? I don't fucking understand this. Like, do these people have fucking kids of their own? Like, how would they feel if the shoes were on their fucking feet and they sent their kids to go through this fucking shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm willing to bet that the people that ruled in favor of this treatment either don't fucking like kids or don't have any kids. And either choice, they have no fucking heart. They have no soul. Like, how do you advocate for something like this? I'm not gonna be able to fucking sleep tonight because I'm gonna be up all night thinking about this. But you know something? At the same time, this is something that This is something that needs to be called out. Okay, this is something that honestly it disturbs me. Like, I don't have kids, but I'm a father figure to some. Okay, and thinking about this, it really, really disturbs me. Like, holy fucking shit. Like, I know that, back in the day when this was more of a common thing, like, I know that shit was fucking disturbing, and that stuff was going on back then. But like, we're in 2021 now. We have the type of treatments, we have the type of programs that deals with things like this, that deals with mental disabilities. Like, you don't need to treat them like fucking cattle up in this. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure if I can say anything else without blowing a gasket, because I'm getting a fucking headache now, just like thinking any more about this, But I think I made all the points that needed to be made here. What I'm going to do, guys, I want you guys to not only share this out, but I want you guys to share the hashtag #StopTheShock. Like, spread this around like wildfire, okay? Spread this around like your life depended on this. Like, this is not okay. What if that were your fucking kids that was going through this? Would you be okay with that? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end things off here. Thank you guys for watching, and first off, I would also like to apologize if at any point in this video you guys got uncomfortable or disturbed, whether it would be by how I said things, what I said, what we talked about here. I want to apologize. This was definitely not an easy video to make. Yeah, I don't know what else I can say, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Have yourself a damn good one, and I'll see you guys in the next one.